Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers
I
channel.
hope everyone are doing good, and this is going to be the continuation of part 1 exception handling. And in the last video we have seen some intro blocks, and in today's video we are going to continue with that. So also we have seen how to handle an exception at different levels and one component which is try catch on the previous video. We'll continue with rest of the methods. So to understand everything I have explained, make sure that you watch my part 1 so that you will be getting a complete understanding of this part 2 as well. And now let's pick the second component, which is called terminate. So you have terminate under general and system process terminate under utility. So this is basically terminating or killing your process. Let's pick the one under general. This is terminate. So it has three different ports. All are input ports like the terminate message, mark as error, and capture your screen. This is something different from try-catch, which could be used in combination with try-catch or without it. So let's see how you can use it when you are using this try-catch as well. So let's assume a scenario that we have solution exception and business exception. So in business exception, you could have different kinds of conditions, right? So let's assume a condition that I have an Excel file and I want to read certain column, and if the respective column value is true, I want to mark that particular error as business exception, and also I want to capture my screen. So this is a sample scenario. In order to achieve this, I'm just going to pick a variable. So let's say that boolean business exception. So I'm just going to take this and let's make it as true. In real time, you will be either getting the value from an Excel, or you have different conditions which you get from Snow instance or from any other applications. Okay, just to make it simpler, I am just sending a variable to true, and by default all the variables will hold the value false, so I'm manually making it true. And now I have to make a decision. Based on the decision, I have to terminate my process by marking that as a business exception. So let's check that is business exception or not. Okay, and I want to mark this boolean value to this one. If it's a business exception, it should be on my true block. And let's say that the next parameters are mark as error and capture screen. So as the name says, it is used to mark your process as an error or an exception. So it's hold a boolean value. If you set the value to be true, it just mark the process as an error. If not, it just terminate the entire execution. So now I'm making the process as true. And next is capture screen. So in case you want to capture your screen whenever you want to terminate your process, you'll also have an option to enable it. And now we have configured all the properties, and also I have added this on error part. We're just adding this console log, and it will not do anything as we are terminating the entire process. It will not even come to the catch block or this on error bar. So let's run this now. Okay, and now the process is completed and it is not coming to the catch block as it terminated the complete process, right? Real time, you have one main activity inside which you could have more n number of sub activities. So if you are using this terminate component in any of your sub activities, automatically the entire process will get stopped, not just the respective activity which holds this terminate component. So like, in order to understand this better, let's understand that I have my main activity, and inside this I have so much of sub activities. So let's say that I have this error handler and also few other activities. So if I run the process, the first activity or whatever you have will be executing. In case there is an error, you will be handling those exception. And in my second activity, I have the component which is called terminate. So if in case there is an error and it terminate the process, it will not move to the get methods. It just completely stop your process. It's like after an error handling, your process will get stopped. So this is the main advantage of this terminate component, wherein you want to stop your process at any particular point based on your defined condition. you could use this. And now let's understand these two parameters which are actually helpful only if the process is executing in an unattended mode, which is from RPA Hub. So if you're running this process from Studio, you will not be able to actually see the result of this capture error, a capture screen and markers error. Like you'll not get any execution log or anything. So let's see the documentation to understand these two properties. Sorry, the parameters. So for this markers error, which is a data input property and it holds boolean value, now we have set the value as true. So select taking the value boolean states that it indicates the status of the process job, which is nothing but your process job from RPA Hub. And if the status of the process job is failed, you have to set the value to be false, so which is basically by making this markers error as false. Okay, that way it will be a successful job. And then you can view the status of the process job under the process jobs tab of the respective process in the instance. So basically these two properties are only for unattended automation, which will be viewed in the respective instances. And coming to the capture screen properties, in order to view the capture screenshot when the value is set to true, you have to do certain things. So like this is basically something which is not really helpful. Let's assume that you have one process and it got failed multiple times and you want to view the screenshot every time. So every time when you want to view the screenshot for the terminate process, you literally have to go into the respective bot process in Studio and have to go to the design tab, attach, then there is something called remote lock. So here you have to choose the respective process. So like currently I have only one process from my RPA Hub, which is test process. So once you select this process, you have to click on this fetch logs and then play logs. So once you play log, it will like you will be getting some successful message. Right now I have some authentication issue, but in real time you will be able to fetch the log successfully. So once everything is good, you will be actually seeing your screenshot in this execution log window. So if you notice that your process job is failed with the respective terminate message, what you can do is you can simply launch your process in Studio. So let's see that I have my test process. So here there is something called process job. So whenever you start a process, after the execution of that process, you will be able to see your process number, results and everything, which basically you could also notice over here. So like you are here, you have to provide your job number, which is your process job number. Okay, and so you'll be able to see the state, which is basically your success and failure. So if you set the value to be markers error as true, it will be fail. If you are just making it as false, the value will, the execution status would be success true, so it will be failed. So you could see all the available status. So either success and fail depends upon the property you select over here on this markers error. And for the capture screen, like you can either directly go into the respective desktop and open the Studio and do it, or else you can directly launch the particular process with the latest version, which will be automatically launching to your local machine or your remote machine, whatever it is, and then you have to do that steps. So which is basically doing these steps. So this is how this terminate component work, and whether to mark it as exception or not, it's completely depend on your requirement. So I hope you guys understand this terminate component as well. So I'll just stop this video for now, and in the next video I'll be creating as part 3, where I'll explain about throw and the graceful component. In case you guys find this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching this video. Take care.